Hey guys, we just posted a live action Gravity Falls video and we're gonna talk about it. But before we do, I just wanted to thank Frank Ross and Spencer Wilkinson are our very first patrons. That's right, we have a Patreon. So if you guys wanna help us out, make these videos a little bit better, you can jump over to our Patreon, patreon.com/slackshack, link in the notes below. We have plenty of rewards and tiers. Your name will appear at the end of all of our videos and plenty of other perks that are in there. Go check them out, they're pretty cool. Anyway, let's talk about this. Now, when making a fake trailer like this, you typically plan out the series or movie that you're making the fake trailer for, and this video was no different. We actually did come up with a long story, or at least a premise, of what this season 3 or a movie based on this would look like. So, 5 years later, Dipper and Mabel finally get to return to Gravity Falls just before their senior year. They come back expecting this town of mystery and magic and adventure, only to find that it doesn't really resemble what it was when they were kids. Grunkle Stan and Ford aren't there, the mystery shack is closed down, and all their friends have moved on with their lives. It's clear that something happened that summer, but was it quite as fantastic as they remember it? But that's when they find a new journal with the number 4 written on it, and Stanley shows up very suspiciously without his brother. And that's where we go with it. While the first 2 seasons of Gravity Falls acted almost as a parody of mystery TV, season 3 similarly acts as a parody of shows similar to that of the CW mysteries like Riverdale or Nancy Drew, playing on the dramatics of those shows while also making fun of it in the process. This doesn't necessarily need to be a live action series. We just decided to go live action because, you know, we can't really draw and we're not good at it. Let's go back to the beginning, conception of this project. So we love Gravity Falls. Once we started making these fake trailers with Ashley Slasher and Rock Bottom and Danny Phantom, I knew someday we were gonna have to make a Gravity Falls trailer. So about a year ago, I wrote the script with the intent of someday making it and kind of put it on the shelf. But recently, everything kind of lined up that it looked like we were actually gonna be able to make it. Our good friend Maddie, who has a channel, Maddie to the Max, you can check that out in the notes below. She helped out with our Danny Phantom video and said that she would love to be a part of this. And she happens to do a very good cosplay and impression of Mabel. So she agreed that she would come down for the filming, and we found a cabin that looks very much like the Mystery Shack. It's my uncle's cabin. He just let us borrow it. He was very nice. Thanks. The cabin was about 2 hours away from where we are right now, which means that presented a new problem, which was transporting a dozen cast and crew over to the location. So the easy solution was to simply use all of our cast members as crew, or more accurately, use all of our crew members as cast. I was a director and I played Dipper. Our DP was Tanner Lydiard, who played Robbie. Neil was our sound and VFX supervisor and he played Seuss. And Wendy was our production assistant / craft services. So our cast and crew ended up being exclusively who you see on screen. Cool, so day 1, let's do it. Talking about Marcus.
From the beginning.
The whole film was shot on our GH5S. The first thing we actually shot was the scene of Grunkle Stan and Stanford on the boat. Now we don't have a boat, so what we did is we actually just filmed it on my driveway, because, you know, that's about the same thing, right? Basically the same thing. It was also very hot and very sunny outside.
Brady, it's basically boiling right now, so.
Oh gosh. Let's wait for it to come up from the ground. Spraying me.
Don't spray Tanner, but.
Actually, maybe spray me.
Well, you don't want to get sprayed yet. That's
yes.
hot water.
So what we did is we hung a shower curtain above our actor Marcus to diffuse the light. Now, as you can see, Marcus is bald. So we had him wear a cheap Party City wig that looks absolutely horrible. But when filming from the right angle with the right lens, it doesn't look too bad. For Stanford's shot, we shot him against the bright blue sky and used it as a blue screen. And then we just kind of turned the scene around and filmed Grunkle Stan's shot the whole time, spraying him with our hose. Then bringing it into VFX, we just had to key out the blue, add the background. I can go in depth, but I won't. And then the other shot of Grunkle what we did is we did what was called a luma key, which we basically just turned up the contrast a lot and told After Effects that the white was the background, black was the foreground, and we were able to just kind of key them out like that. I could talk more extensively about that, but again, I won't. So, day 2. So that was the easy day. Day 2 was the day that we were gonna be going up to Strawberry, Arizona, which is 2 hours north of where we are, to the cabin to film everything else. So the first thing we did is we shot everything outside. It was up north, up in the mountains, but it's still Arizona. So we wanted to film everything outside before it got too hot. We broke for lunch, then shot everything inside, and then we went home. Will I explain more? Yeah, I will. Okay. So when shooting outside, what we did was shoot mainly in shadows. This makes the lighting look more pleasing, more even, a little bit better. And for our small group and our quick pace, that was the best way to do it. One very useful tool that we had on set was a battery-powered leaf blower. If you're a filmmaker and you don't have a leaf blower, I don't know what you're doing. You need to go buy one. It's definitely worth it. We've used it a handful of times in other projects, and it definitely just adds a lot of production value to your video. Just being able to have like wind, I don't know what it is. I don't know. and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention how many times I've actually used it while doing yard work. It's actually very good. So if you own a house, probably get a leaf blower. But if you're a filmmaker and you have a house,
Plenty of leaves.
That was leaves. That's what leaves were.
Oh, I thought that was leaf blower.
Oh. That's more.
Oh, boy.
Who's the leaves?
Okay.
So, is the leaves or who's the blower?
the trickiest shot that we had to get was everybody standing in front of the Mystery Shack as the big yellow power blast hit the shielded Mystery Shack. And the reason for this was twofold. One, in the first shot with the whip pan, well, remember how I said that all of our crew were also cast? So yeah, I did mean that. We didn't have any extra people on set, which meant that Tanner, AKA the guy who played Robbie, had to be the one to do the camera move, which is why we ended up having Robbie in the bottom left corner of this shot so that we could explain why you couldn't see him in the first shot.
Magic.
It's a little movie magic. As far as lighting goes, the second shot, we had to hang the shower curtain up above us, which if you look very closely, you can see on my shoulder there a hard edge. That's where the shower curtain couldn't reach, and we just kind of hoped no one would notice. But now you do, so.
Movie magic.
One thing we've been getting a lot of comments about since posting this video are at this shot right here. Some people are upset, but some people are very happy as well. This moment in the script was originally going to be an intimate moment between Dipper and Pacifica. But one, we couldn't find an actor to play Pacifica in time. Two, the actress who plays Wendy kind of just also happens to be my wife. So it kind of just all worked out that way. And again, this is a trailer, so anybody who is upset, you never know what it was. Maybe it was a dream, maybe it was a trick. Maybe
drama.
CW drama, you know? Love triangles. You gotta have it. It's gonna be great. Then once we moved inside, we broke out a lot of our lighting and took our time on all those shots because there were less of them. And that's why the inside shots look so good. So thanks, Tanner. All the shots upstairs in the attic where we find the journal, those were all simply shot with us shining a flashlight at a reflector. We don't have BTS footage of that, but I'll just kind of like reflector, flashlight, bounces back on us. See?
Movie magic.
We get back, right, and we edit everything together, and it's looking good, but we found that there was an issue. We were missing a shot. I had edited everything together, and it fit together so perfectly, but there was a shot missing. So when trying to figure out what to put in there, I'm looking through the SD card with all the footage, and our DP Tanner made a little detour on his way home. So I don't know if you guys knew this, but our state is kind of on fire right now. So Tanner, on his way home, decided to stop by one of these fires and get a time-lapse video. Now, this was just a little video for himself. I think he was just gonna put it on his Instagram, but I asked him if I could have it, and he said yes. So we took the fire shot, added a 3D model of the Gravity Falls water tower in front of it, and boom, you got the shot. Thanks, Tanner, again. And thank you, Arizona, for being on fire. Aside from that, we did rely a bit on stock footage. We do have a subscription to Storyblocks Video. They don't sponsor us, they're just a good service, but if they do want to sponsor us. Some examples of these stock footage clips were the shot of the bus driving by in the beginning, the shot from the boat, because again, don't have a boat, and pretty much the whole background of the shot with Bill Cipher in it. And then a little bit into the visual effects of things. The titles we made in Element 3D. All the other 3D stuff like the Mystery Shack, the Water Tower, and Bill Cipher were made in Blender by Neil Johnson.
Yeah, that's me.
I said your name.
You said my name.
And then all the other visual effects were done in After Effects. So it was a couple days before we were getting ready to release this video, and we just needed to record the Grunkle Stan line at the very end. And the idea was one of us was just gonna kind of do it, you know, do a little raspy voice Grunkle Stan impression. But we realized that none of us could do it well at all. And we were like, okay, well, what do we do? Maybe we would just leave it empty. So what I did is I just went on to TikTok and I just searched Grunkle Stan impression, and I found this guy named Nate Roos who did a really good Grunkle Stan impression. And so I just messaged him and said, hey, we're making this Gravity Falls video. We need one line. Can you please send it to us? And he was more than happy to oblige and emailed that over right away. And I put it in, and that's what you hear there. So thanks, Nate. We're saying thanks a lot. This is good. Thank you, everybody who worked on this. You guys are awesome. So I don't know if you guys saw our last film, The Presence. That was a short film that I directed that took 3 years to make. So if you guys haven't seen that, I would really appreciate you guys checking it out. The reason that took so long to make was because I kind of did everything myself. I didn't reach out to other people to ask them to help with visual effects or sound design or editing or any of that kind of stuff. This video, however, we made within a month. And I attribute that to collaborating with others and everything that everyone else brought to the table. And it really made the whole process much quicker, but also much better and more fun. And the things that Tanner brought to the table as far as his cinematography and things that Neil brought to the table, even on set, about visual effects and how we should shoot certain things and what would look better, and the ideas that we came up with. The idea of Mabel sitting on the swing was actually Maddie's idea, because there was just a swing there and we thought, well, hey, this would be really cool, let's do it. So I've learned from these last two projects that it's very, very important to collaborate with others and let them bring things to the table and let them help. So thank you guys, everybody who's helped out with this. I'd name all of you guys, but the battery on the camera's almost dead, so I won't.
Movie match.
I will also thank everybody who supported us by watching and sharing these videos and commenting and telling us what you guys thought. We really do appreciate it. If you guys have any questions about the making of Gravity Falls, you can leave them in the comments below. Tell us what we should be making next. If it's another fake trailer, if it's a fan film, a short film of some kind, let us know. We really do like to hear from you guys. And until next time, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys later. Thank you, everybody who worked on this. You guys are awesome. Anyway, it's about time I thank people, or it's about time that they were awesome.
Yes.
You guys are awesome. Took you long enough.
I feel like, no.